quick look at the ladies who will be on the floor first. Davis, Alston, Swinney, Harris, and Montgomery for Enterprise State. And meanwhile, on the other side of the floor, it is Murph, Slaughter, Goodman, as well as Lennox and Thomas. A little storm on the outside, but we got great weather indoors. And you talk about a team that is sitting in a pretty good spot, and that is Coastal Alabama North. Now, granted, everybody in the ACCC in Division II, and for that matter in Division I, sitting pretty coming into this week, but where Coastal North is concerned, you got a double dribble on the part of Lennox. Where Coastal North is concerned, you're talking about a team that sports the best record in the South Division as far as an overall mark. There's only one team in the South Division in Division II that's got a winning mark, and that is the Lady Coyotes of Coastal North. Couple of possessions and both coming up empty, rebounded by Swinney. And we are a minute into the ball game and still a bucket into the ball game. Over to Alston, out front for the toss to Swinney. Harris with it, top side, fires into the paint. And a foul on Murph. And that will have Abby Davis head into the stripe shooting. Both of these teams coming into tonight with a 1-1 conference mark. Enterprise State with a win over Chat Valley, a loss to LBW. Coastal North a win over Chat Valley and a loss to Snead State. Early 3-zip game. Goodman bringing it down the floor. Coyotes will be without the services of Raven Hall. Hall is out due to the flu, so not able to play tonight. That will go out of bounds off of Alston. And the Coyotes will keep possession a couple of minutes in, looking for their first points of the game. Here's the good news. Ball Weevils haven't put a lot of points on the board, a total of 3. Goodman, high off the glass, out of bounds, and will go to the other end of the floor. Well, the official initially indicating it was off of a Coyote, or actually off of a Ball Weevil, but it was definitely off of Thomas. So the Ball Weevils with possession. Montgomery sitting in top side to Alston. Feeds it over to Davis, and Davis with a long 2. 5 unanswered Ball Weevil points to begin the game. Murph near the elbow, comes off the rim. Battle for the rebound, and Thomas looked kind of like Leonard Fournette getting spear tackled by a DB. But okay, and that's the good news. Hops up, goes to the other end of the floor. And no, I do not know why I picked Leonard Fournette. I mean, there's a lot of running backs out there. I guess because I was watching Buffalo and Miami yesterday. Loose ball scooped up by Harris. Puts it up from just outside of the paint, dropped it in. Lennox will pick up the foul. And Harris will shoot free throws. Well, this Enterprise State squad can be a little deceptive when you look at the overall mark of 1-15. You're thinking, well, this just isn't a very good squad. Well, they are certainly a better team than the 1-15 mark would indicate. They played a lot of competition tough, lost some heartbreaker of games. Thomas over to Goodman. Back over it goes to Thomas, shoots the 2 and drops it in. And there's your first Coyote points of the new year. And it is Thomas that will break the ice. Foul called on Alston, ran over Murph. And the Coyotes with the basketball. Both of these teams playing on Thursday. For Enterprise State, it's over to Mississippi and take on Jones. And for Coastal North, it's a trip to Wallace-Selma. Here's what we do know, by the way. After tonight, there will be one and only one unbeaten team in the ACCC Division II. And that is because the two 2-0 teams, Wallace-Selma and Snead State. Thomas picking up the foul. Play tonight. It's one of those 2-0, one of those 1-1. And everybody else, a half game or a full game back. Swinney, a very good free throw shooter, 93%. So a couple of misses from Swinney are rare, but there's a couple of misses. And an opportunity for the Coyotes to make it a one-possession game. Goodman over to Thomas, shoots from the stripe. Wide left, got it back, and knocks down the bunny. And great to have you watching. If you're watching on YouTube thinking, hey, you guys are about a half hour late. Well, the game on the website slated for 5 p.m., but apparently all conference games. Slaughter, nice save into the hands of Thomas. Are 5:30 and 7:30. Into the corner and goes to Lennox. Launches the three. She hits it. That is 9 unanswered Coyote points. And the Coyotes with a 1-point lead. Out in front to Alston, into the paint. Lost by Montgomery, picked up by Goodman. Trying to get it over Lennox. Lennox a little trouble tracking it down. Murph wide open for the three. Too strong. Lennox had it, lost it. Harris dives in. And you got a timeout called by Enterprise State to preserve possession of the ball. Halfway through the first in a 9-8 ball game with the 9-8 Coyotes on top.
It's the dreaded appointment. You've put it off long enough. You've run out of excuses. And now you've got to face your fears head on. Fortunately, there's someone there who won't hold your feelings against you. Somebody whose efforts instead will give you your best selfie smile. You'll thank her when it's over. Be somebody. Enroll in the dental assisting program at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Well, a camera on the camera operator. Looks like one of those Mevos. I think she's operating there on the other side of the floor. In Monroeville on a stormy Monday night. Supposed to be some pretty rough weather tonight. Did see some lightning off on the horizon, but we're indoors. The wife texted me, said, hey, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, we're inside. All's good. If we were playing baseball or softball, I would be a little concerned. Alston with a miss. Slaughter with a rebound. The number one rebounding team in the ACCC. Murph a hop, skip and a two. And the string of unanswered points now at 11. So the quick start by the Boll Weevils, and then a barrage of points from the Coyotes, and that will roll out of bounds off of Swinney. So the Coyotes with possession. Got another first in a long time, not obviously the first time ever, but the first in a while, in that we'll have back-to-back games. The men and women playing. Goodman, and a 5-point lead for Coastal North. So after this one wraps up, we'll take about a 25-minute break and bring you game 2 of the doubleheader, which, by the way, on YouTube means about a 7:30, not a 7 p.m. start for the nightcap. Trinity Crane into the ball game, fouling Swinney, and Swinney to strike. And there's that 13-0 run snapped by the free throw. Raven Williams has checked into the game for Enterprise State. And also Camry White now in too. Back over it goes to Slaughter. Topside give to Lennox. Brief look to coach, and the give goes to Murph. In traffic, Goodman. It will last touch the fingertips of Williams. Coyotes to put it in play. Murph drawing the foul. That'll be committed by Camry White. A 54% shooting free throw team in Coastal North. Murph hit 66% of her free throws. Averages right at 8 points a game. Tiana Watts in, out will go Lennox for the Coyotes. Three en route, 3 off. It's marked by number 3, Nina Williams, who has checked into the game. Taisha Slaughter the foul as Camry White heads to the line. Well, games this week, today, Thursday, and Saturday, and we're headed to different spots. Monroeville, Alabama tonight. Bay Minette, Alabama Thursday. Americus, Georgia on Saturday. And all of them doubleheaders. And we got our fingers crossed on that Thursday night matchup in Bay Minette. Coastal South trying to get the finishing touches on the gym completed. Nice save by Murph to Goodman. Back over to Murph. Jumper from Crane, in and out. Williams with a rebound. Harris will send it over to Williams. And yes, there are a couple of Williams currently on the floor for Enterprise State. Loose ball, battle to get it back. Picking it up is Williams, fires the 3, tipped into the corner. And it will still be Boll Weevil ball. But we are hoping we're going to make our first trip to the new gymnasium, the newly renovated gymnasium at Coastal South on Thursday. Against Shelton State, too. I mean, What a great ball game, and then you got the new confines. Stolen away by Harris. Tipped, stolen by Goodman. Back over it goes to Crane. Murph over to Goodman. Squares up with 90 seconds showing on the first quarter clock. Loose ball, that is Keys into the game. Brought it to the glass, no good. Goodman grabs it. Whips it out front, Murph will take it. And then lost it. Just couldn't get that dribble working. And it'll be Boll Weevil basketball. Deshauna Key checking into the game. Now here comes Tajay Young, as Crane will come out of the game. Harris with a drive, ran over Murph, the offensive. And that'll be Abby Davis, by the way, charged with the offensive. Coyotes trying to take at least 7-point lead into the second. Got a foul, though. And that will be charged to Goodman. Picking up the dribble is White. Tipped away by Goodman into the hands of Watts. And there is a blocking foul by Harris. Not quite to the bonus. It'll be brought in from the baseline. Well, I mentioned the Thursday game, Shelton State and Coastal South. Saturday, it is Andrew College and South Georgia Tech. Goodman over to Key. Trying to slide it through a very tiny window to Watt. Davis working in right side, feeds down low. Williams trying to bank it. It is rejected by Key. Watt puts it up from just outside of the paint. Had an opportunity, couldn't get it to drop in, and we have played a corner. After a fourth of the game, a 15-10 advantage for your homestanding Coyotes.
Preparing for surgery is like getting ready for the big game. You arrive early. You get your mind right. You make sure every tool is ready and the team has the right equipment. Your patient may never know your name. They may never realize that somebody cared enough to ensure all the little tasks were done right. But that's okay. You do. Be somebody. Enroll in the Surgical Technology program at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Won't be long before we get into baseball season. You see the fella sitting there with the LA cap. As a matter of fact, by the end of the month, you got softball already underway. I'm not sure if we have got baseball until the first week in February. But I know we got softball coming up later this month. And by the way, we are into quarter number 2. I can give you an explanation as to why it still says 1. It's a pretty good explanation. And that is that we are tied in, and she got the bucket and the foul. We are tied into the scoreboard on the other side of the floor, and it indicates period number 1. So here in the arena, we've got the first quarter on the clock. So until that changes, we're stuck with it on our scoreboard as well. It's got the same data. Watts capping off the 3. But we are in quarter number 2. And yeah, I should be able to override it, but I can't. I can do it temporarily. And she got the Slaughter steal. Goodman with it out front. Handoff given to Lennox, who is checked back into the game. Drive, shot off the rim. Rebound grab by Swinney. And Harris with a leisurely stroll down the floor. But you can see when I try to override the second quarter, I can do it for a moment. And then it's going to roll back to first. So my apologies, but until we got period 2 on the scoreboard here in the gymnasium, we're going to have it on our graphic too. Watts over to Lennox. Pulls up. Got rim, got window, got rim, got other side of the rim, and eventually turns into 2, and the lead is double. And the Coyotes, since that 8-0 start for Enterprise State, have outscored the Boll Weevils 20-2. Put in play to Williams. And you got a blocking foul. Goodman, that's at least 2 on Goodman. So it'll be put in play for the near sidelines. Harris to put it in play. 8:17 left to go in the half. Out in front of Montgomery, who's back into the ball game. Slaughter backing off, daring her to take the 3. Alston over to Harris. From the elbow, short. Rebound and the putback, Montgomery. And the official, I think, said the bucket is good. Blew the whistle for a shot clock violation. And then overruled himself, which in reality, again, I applaud these officials. I know earlier we had an official call the ball one way for one team, when in reality it was for the other, and they changed their call. Same here. It actually got rim just before the shot clock. So on second thought, the official goes, wait a minute. It's not the right call. Shot down low, Montgomery off the glass. Out front to Lennox. Over to Watts, bringing it baseline. Feeds over to Slaughter, kisses it off the glass. Back to a 10-point lead. From the elbow, Harris nibbling the rim. It'll go out of bounds. And the Coyotes will have possession inside 7 minutes to play in half number 1. Slaughter over to Lennox. Young giving a look down towards the low post. Slaughter pretty well covered by Montgomery. Lennox losing it. Puts up a desperation long two and hits it. Shot clock was dwindling, and Lennox with the turnaround. Harris walked with it, trying to put on the brakes. And it'll be Coyote basketball with 6:10 to play in the half. Murph off the glass. And the Coyotes have doubled up on the Boll Weevils. Davis with a handoff to Harris. Feed over to Swinney. Swinney short on the lay-in. Got it back. Short on that one too. Tipped out. Young, Harris. All kinds of bodies after it. Watts picks it up. And Watts will back it out. Hit the reset. Lennox off on the three try. Rebounded by Watts. Turn around, put back, not there. And Davis able to wrap up the rebound. Nearly and is taken away by Murph. Uncontested lay-in, and the Coyotes by 16. And a timeout on the floor asked for by the Boll Weevils, as the Coyotes, after a slow start, have kicked it into high gear.
You're organized, driven, focused, ready to create the life of luxury in the most beautiful and unique locations, locally and around the world. Discover hospitality management at Coastal Alabama Community College.
That is Raven Hall. She has the flu and is watching the game from behind the bench. Flu, COVID, it's all running rampant. Here as a motivational aspect of the game tonight. And if she's part of the formula, it's working. Coyotes by 16. Back it goes to Harris. Flips it over to Alston. Alston to the stripe. Swinney down to Harris. Down low to Montgomery. Left-hander no good. Right-handed shot blocked by Slaughter. Murph kicking it into the corner. Back it'll go to Murph. Lennox to Watts. Takes it to the glass, lays it in for two. Coyotes by 18. Shot over to Alston. Handoff goes to Davis. And she'll run over Murph for the offensive. And I think that is twice Davis and Murph have met that way. So Davis picking up the offensive foul. Back over it goes to Diane Grace Nelson in the game. Shot missed. Davis with a rebound. Harris short on the shot. And that will go out of bounds off Nelson. Harris to put it in play from the baseline, 3:12 to go in the stanza. Davis, that is a three. Murph into the corner to Lennox. Watts top side. Back over to Lennox. She will shoot from the elbow, just a little bit short. The board grab by Alston. Down low with a pass off the rim, no good for Swinney. Back over to Murph, quickly down the floor. Trying to get it to Nelson, instead Slaughter with it, lays it up but not in. Swinney with a rebound. Back it goes to Davis, too strong. Slaughter with another rebound. Averages about 9 per game. Over to Nelson. Feeds into the corner. Wide open for the three. And rattled in by Lennox. And the Coyotes match their largest lead of the half at 18. Pass intended for Harris will go out off Slaughter. Lady Coyotes 7-4 here at the house. As Lennox comes out of the game, Crane back in for the Coyotes. Alston feeding it down low to Swinney, and Swinney cutting into a 16-point game. Norman goes to Slaughter. Short. Out of bounds. And it is off Alston. So the Coyotes with possession. Crane to put it in play from the baseline. Down it goes to Watts. Kicks it out in front to Murph. Murph laying it in from the left side. Harris off the glass, and there is a whistle and foul. That is going to be charged to Murph. Harris shooting, averaging 4 points a game, a 37% free throw shooter. The number 4 free throw shooting team in the ACCC. Enterprise State knocking down about 62% of their free throws. Harris 1 of 2. Watts with a drive, feeds over to Crane. Off the glass for 2. The lead 19, it's their biggest yet. The Coyotes 29 seconds away from halftime. Harris a little bit too strong. Murph with a rebound. Down the floor to Slaughter, off the glass, hit the bucket, got hit. Goes to the line and will have a chance for 3. My, what a difference a couple of minutes makes. First couple of minutes of the game. Enterprise State scoring 8 straight. Since then, they have scored 12, and the Coyotes have scored 41. Tipped out of bounds by Slaughter. Tipped out of bounds by Watts. Rejected by Slaughter. And now 3 seconds left in the half. Off the glass for Swinny. And that will do it for 20 minutes of basketball. That is halftime. And a 20-point lead belonging to the home team. What a start to the new year and the second half of the season, and really the most important, the most significant part of the season. Because it's these conference games that determine your seeding, your spot on the postseason tournament. End of the half, Coastal Alabama North with a lead of 20.
Discover pastry baking at Coastal Alabama Community College.
It is halftime. At least we are airing this at halftime, but we are also airing this on YouTube, and it's not halftime there. So I guess we'll just say it's a conversation with the AD and all the Coastals, Daniel Head. How you doing, Daniel?
Oh, I'm doing great, Robert. Thanks for having me on today.
Hey, it is a delight, man. You have got to have a really busy schedule, and I think today's probably indicative. I mean, you've been at all the campuses that play sports, and, well, you've been to 2 of the 3, and the third is coming up. But you've also got a lot of construction work going on at Coastal. So how are you balancing all these different tasks?
It's just another day in paradise. We've got to balance everything because we have a great staff of coaches that run their programs at a high level, and so they make my job a lot easier. I just am kind of go and try to facilitate things for them and provide opportunities for them to do the jobs that they were hired to do. So, we've got a lot of things happening. We've had a lot of things going on, college-wide over the last year or so with some changes, and we're excited about the new look and some of the new facility things we have going, and it's a great time to be a Coastal Alabama Coyote.
There are so many changes going on. I'm delving into my brain as to which one to hop on first. Let's start with the Coyotes. Okay, so there used to be Sun Chiefs, there used to be Warhawks, there used to be Eagles, now all Coyotes. How has that transition to a new mascot been?
Oh, it's been incredible. The campuses, the communities, the student athletes, the coaches, everybody's bought in, and they see. I think they've finally there was obviously with change, there's always going to be some apprehension and there will be some resistance. But, we had a good team that worked together to implement the change with a partnership with Rare Design and with our PR marketing department. It was just, they made things as easy as possible, and they've done a lot of when people start seeing the new look and the new logo, and I mean, we've already won some state and national awards with the new logos. It's just been a great, exciting opportunity, and the kids are really embracing it, and we're just excited about the future.
I like the new look. I like the new logo. The question I've got to have answered is, let's go back in time, because I'm assuming that when you go through this process of determining what is going to be that final one name that represents all campuses, that there's a discussion of a variety of names. So how were the Coyotes the final one decided upon?
Well, like I said before, Rare Design was they're a company that's what they do. They do branding and logo designs, and what's unique about their company is they kind of like to tell a story and they want to learn about the organization. So this was a long, thorough process where they came in and they interviewed community members, alumni, students, faculty, staff. I mean, everybody that's been involved that would have an impact with the college, and they kind of wanted to understand what were some of the trends and what were some of the familiarities and what with all of our athletics and the communities and some of the characteristics, because obviously when you design a brand, you want it to represent some of the characteristics that you feel your organization has. And so through that, they determined some of the consistent things were loyalty and familial, but also intense and things like that. So they gave us, a lot of direction to tell that story. And, when we did release the rollout of announcing the name and all that, we had a video that kind of explained that process and it explained why. And I know you aired that, so you've seen it, but yeah, that is a lot of where that comes from. And then, we kind of had a few different options that we were talking about, and there were some rumors about different things, but we settled on the Coyote, and it also is a very prominent member of the community here. I mean, you can ride down the road at night, or you go, a lot of people hunt, live around rural areas and heck, populous areas these days where, you can find coyotes roaming around, and they have a lot of, cool characteristics. And then once we decided what we wanted to go with, their design team just did a phenomenal job on the look, and we couldn't be more pleased.
Obviously, we're limited at halftime because I think we probably can go through a couple of halves on the information about things going on in Coastal. So let me hop over to construction. A lot of renovation going on, and specifically having an impact on play in the gymnasium is the work there in Coastal South. So when do you think that gymnasium will be available?
Right now, we are planning on there's some games on the schedule in early December. I think it's December 3rd, 4th, something like that. We will be in the gym for those games. I actually just spoke with the project manager today. She's in Bruton. She's with another facility another facility improvement in Bruton that we've been doing with the HVAC unit here, and she assured me that everything was on track for, basically when we get back from Thanksgiving break, to be able to at least, for most of the building to be accessible, but for all the, for practicing and games and all that. I mean, I went in yesterday, the bleachers are in, the floor's down, it looks great. And so it's really proud of all the work and all the commitment. And, there's been a year of, a lot of people having to adjust and work around it. And that's a little frustrating, but you'll take a little bit of a frustration for a year to have long-term, a nice long-term solution.
For those of us who have not had the opportunity yet to go in and take a look around, what are the differences? I mean, do you still have at South that band stage on one end and the crow's nest about mid part of the floor? Is that still part of the makeup?
Not not. I don't think so. No, I think I think the crow's nest probably still there. The band stage is gone. It's just the bleachers. We've got the gold chair backs. They look really good in there with the black frame. It's the floor. We got a couple of neat surprises there on the floor that we won't want to reveal right now, but it's a really cool look there. It's just real clean and new goals assemblies, motors on the things that lift the goals up. I mean, and the bleachers were pushed in yesterday, so I didn't see them pulled out. Like I said, they just installed them last week, so that was my first opportunity to go in and look. So I got to kind of get a sort of a preview, but not a full functioning preview yet.
All right, let's hop outside of Coastal and into the conference where there's now two divisions, 1 and 2. You've got a Coastal that's a 1, you got a Coastal that's a 2. How has that been thus far? I know it's very early, and as a matter of fact, really some of the teams just now beginning division play, but how has that been?
Well, right. We just finished up our fall seasons, our volleyball, which volleyball in the state of Alabama right now is all Division II. So both of our teams play in the Division II conference. Our Coastal North team in Bruton, they finished third in the conference and went to the postseason, had a great year. And finished strong there. Our men's and women's cross country teams in Bruton. Our men's team is actually competing in a first year program. We finished 4th in the conference in the regular season tournament, and we qualified for nationals. So, first year we're headed up this weekend. Coach Nims and her crew, they've just done an outstanding job of just taking on the new program and going out and working hard, and they're going to be competing in the national cross country meet this weekend in Huntsville. So that's another just unheard of accomplishment for a first team year program. So we're excited about that. Now we're rolling into basketball season, which that's where the D1, D2 really starts to affect. We have our Monroeville Coastal North teams are Division II. Our Bay Minette teams are Division I. So they'll play in different conferences. They actually play each other in non-conference also, and they've already played once in the non-conference. And actually, the women play tonight. Again in Monroeville. So we're getting those non-conference games out of the way, and then they'll start conference play in a few weeks. And the cool thing with all those sports is we have an opportunity to be conference champions and at both places.
Mm-hmm.
There's no interconference competition. We could go win national championships, and at both, we'd have a Coastal South and Coastal North national champion. I mean, so that's one of the things that with the realignment, you want to allocate your resources to be smart and fiscally responsible. And so, we had 3 teams all playing in the same conference and only one could be a champion. And that's kind of frustrating a little bit if you're allocating your resources all with only one opportunity, where this time we have 2 different teams that can have a clear direct path and not cross each other to be, conference champions, state champions, national champions, however that works. And that, I think that helps, show more viability and why we have multiple teams and multiple programs on different campuses.
Okay, now I got to ask, you got 2 Division II volleyball teams, though, South and North. So what was the thinking behind that?
Well, that's just that's the conference mandate. All of our teams are Division II, so that was kind of an exception to everything else. But all of the individual sports are the same, like your golf and tennis. But those are more of your individualized sports. The only major team sport like volleyball is the only one where we have the same, and that's just due to there's not an option for the conference. With international play being a Division I. In Alabama, you can't have international scholarship students. And so we're at a competitive disadvantage in volleyball because most of your highly competitive teams in volleyball are going to have basically probably 75% international players, and it's just a totally different game. And so, our conference has never been really competitive at the national level of Division I. So that we all moved to Division II, so we'd have an opportunity. Wallace Hansville won the conference championship, and they've got a legitimate shot to go win the national championship now. And, they've been a dominant team in Alabama, but they've never really had a chance to compete nationally in the national tournament in Division I over the past few years. So.
Daniel, had always great talking with you. We hadn't conversed since last year, so I wanted to get you on the air so we could find out the latest in regards to Coastal. Great job. Love the Coyote logo and how that has transferred into a great athletic look. And we'll talk again during the course of the season.
That's great, Robert. We're proud of it, and thanks again for all you do for us. It's a great partnership that we have with JockJive, and just do a first class job, and we're proud to be able to have partnered with you guys and have this relationship.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, have a great evening.
You too.
University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Decades of experience in distance learning. Empowering students of all ages. More than 90 degree and certificate programs to advance your career. UA Online. Flexible, affordable, legendary. Let your computer be your campus. Visit online.ua.edu.
Second half action gets underway. Coyotes with a 20-point lead. Trying to go to 2-1 in conference play. Extend the win streak to 4 as Harris is hurt. She went low, diving for the basketball and ran into the knee of Thomas. And Thomas a little bit gimpy, but Harris a lot more wobbly. Indicates to the trainer that she's okay, but that might be one of those situations where you got to go into concussion protocol. Let the trainer ask you a few questions, hold up a few fingers in front of the face, and maybe tell us what year it is, who's president, that kind of stuff. And maybe, too, to the discretion of the trainer from the standpoint of if she determines, Thomas for 2, that Harris is just too wobbly to get back into the game, she'll look into the eyes. So she will make those determinations. And over in the corner, trainer with some law enforcement nearby in the AD for Enterprise State in the vicinity too. Davis dropping in the first 2 second half points of the game for Enterprise State. Over to Lennox. And then back out front to Murph. Same 5 that began the ball game for the Coyotes begin the second half. Murph, Thomas, Slaughter, Lennox, and Goodman. And the same was true for Enterprise State, but of course Harris had to come off the floor. And Nina Williams checked into the game. Otherwise, you've got Davis, Alston, Montgomery, and Swinney. Thomas with a miss, or actually make that Davis with a miss. Multiple tries and finally put in by Montgomery. Bucket counts, and the foul was committed as well. Opportunity for a three-point conversion for Montgomery. And she will do just that. There's a fairly big football game tonight. in case you didn't know. Michigan and Washington. Gotta admit, I totally forgot. You know, when it doesn't have any quote-unquote local flavor. You forget about it. Lennox off on the three. Thomas, the rebound, back over to Lennox. Tries it again. This one's short. Able to come up with a loose ball. Davidson Slaughter nearly ran her over. So Slaughter picking up the foul. Bo Weevils to put it in play from the near sidelines. First of a couple of games on a stormy Monday night. Go a little bit north. Okay, maybe a lot of bit north. Probably hit a little white stuff. Here it's just rain and cold. Davis over to Williams and off the glass for Williams. Over to Goodman, tempted to put up the three, sticks it over to Key. Key too strong on the two. Goodman's got it back, kisses it off the glass. The men Bo Weevils and the men Coyotes after this one wraps up. That too available on YouTube and on JockJive. Off the glass for Swinney. By the way, if you are watching on YouTube, well, heck, even if you're not, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Got stuff on there you won't find anywhere else. Too strong with a Goodman three. Alston with a rebound. And we're going to the other end of the floor after the offensive. That'll be Alston committing the foul. Six and a half to play in the third, a 48-33 lead. Coyotes took the lead on a Lennox three when it was an 8-6 ball game. And they have not looked back. Goodman top side, Key with the screen. Out front to Murph. Slides it over to Goodman. Thought about the three. Tried to get it to Key. I think that went off the head of Thomas. Thomas didn't know it was coming. Knocked her on the noggin and went out of bounds. Over it goes to Montgomery. That is Davis with it at the timeline. Swinney Williams. Williams putting in the three. She is a 39, nearly 40% three-point shooter. And it's a 13-point game if you are the Bo Weevils. What you want in the third is to take about half that lead off and go into the fourth with a shot. Lennox with a miss. Loose ball, and who'll get it? Got a jump ball on the possession arrow will keep us on this end of the floor. This is the first game since that Albany Tech game. And the significance of the Albany Tech game was the ejection of 5 Titans. Every lady that came off the bench. Thomas short on the 2. And that will go off key and out of bounds. In play to Williams halfway through the third. That'll just slip through the fingertips of Montgomery. Watts into the ball game, puts it in play to Murph. And the Coyotes struggling a bit here in the first half of the third. Davis flipping it over to Swinney, and Swinney makes it a 10-point game. Half of the lead in half of the quarter. Wiped out. Over to Goodman. Fires to Thomas, and Thomas drawing the foul by Swinney. And we have got a timeout on the floor with 4:22 to play in the third. Ball Weevils back into the game at the 4:22 mark.
Think you need a 4-year degree to make good money? Think again. Get training in your own backyard. Master electrical and mechanical skills, process controls, hydraulics and pneumatics, and land a job that can take you anywhere. Start your path to a career that pays. Discover electrical and instrumentation technology at Coastal Alabama Community College.
And as Melanie Harris, who took the knee to the head and was examined by trainers, back over onto the bench. But really not participating in the timeout. And at least at this point, not looking particularly good at her getting back into the ball game. Thomas, a 35% free throw shooter, averaging 4 points a game. I checked that, 8 points a game, and a 69% free throw shooter. I was looking at the line above. Boy, when I saw those 4 a game, I was going, really? I thought she scored more than that. 8 a game. Got the steal, stepping out with it is Weiss. Davis to put it in play. Alston firing down low. Williams giving to Montgomery. That is Swinney backing her way in and banking it off the glass. Goodman picking up the dribble. Backing it out, Watts. 3:34 to play. Tajay Young in the game. Key with a miss. And Thomas almost, but not quite. She banged it off the leg of Swinney, but then it hit Thomas before going out of bounds. .3:15 to play, quarter number 3 in a 10-point game, and the Ball Weevils with an opportunity to slice it to single digits. In play to Swinney, but right into the hands of Thomas. Swinney the intended target. Thomas gets it. Young off on the 3. Montgomery with a rebound. Loose ball, Davis retrieves, hands it over to Williams. She'll shoot from the elbow. Thomas wrapping up the rebound. Goodman out in front of the pack, lays it up, lays it in, drew the foul of Alston. And Goodman coming next with the and one. Goodman, the leading scorer on the squad, the only Lady Coyote averaging double digits, a little better than 10 a game. Over it goes to Davis. Lobs it down low, and it will wind up in the hands of Thomas. Gives it to Key, over to Young. Watts top side. Goodman pulls up near the elbow. Short on the shot. Got it back. Tries again. Tips it into the corner and not able to save it. And it'll be Boll Weevil basketball. Well, the Coyotes would love to go on a 2-minute run that extends that lead back out to about 20. Led at 42-22 at the half. Have seen the lead trim to as much as 10, currently 12. Wide open, down low, and easy two for Alston. Handoff given to Young, a little weave action. Trying to get it to Key, and is stolen away by Williams. And a chance to make it single digits, and they will. Montgomery for two. 12 trimmed off the lead in 9 minutes. Goodman over to Young, feeds it down low to Key. Key with a little sky hook, grabbed by Montgomery. Over to Davis. Out off Watts. Here comes Slaughter and Murph back into the game. Goodman and Key coming out. And it is put in play to Williams. Over to Davis. Down low, and the foul will send Swinney to the line. The 93% free throw shooter. Well, she was 93 coming in, but is 0 for 3 thus far in this one. Off the glass for Murph. And it'll be Williams bringing it down the floor. Last trip to this end of the floor in the third. Davis got the underneath of the backboard. Key into Watts. And she's not going to get the shot off. It was 20 at the half. It is 9 going into the fourth. Coyotes still on top, but the Boll Weevils cut the lead in half.
Think you need a 4-year degree to make good money? Think again. Get training in your own backyard. Master a skill to land a job fast. And start your path to a career that pays. Discover welding at Coastal Alabama Community College. So what are you waiting for?
10 minutes of basketball left in this one. The Coyotes hoping to start off the brand new year with a win, led by 20 at the half. But 11 taken off the lead in the third. And that being without the services of one of their starters. Melanie Harris has been on the bench since taking a knee to the head. That is tipped away. Slaughter able to get the steal. It is taken right back by Davis, but goes out of bounds with it. So the Coyotes with a basketball. Nine Cab slated for a 7:30 start. Might get it underway a little bit early. Thomas trying to get the putback. It is no good. Rebound snagged by Swinney. Over to Alston and given to Williams. Williams has played the bulk of the third after coming in for Harris. That is Davis in and out on the three. Slaughter with a rebound. Coyotes trying to extend it again to a double-digit lead. Young is open, fires the three off the rim. Tipped into the hands of Slaughter. Over to Murph, drives into the paint, feeds to Thomas. Put back by Slaughter. Coyotes losing that 20-point advantage, trimmed to 9 in the third. Would love to spin the fourth, rebuilding it to 20. Loose ball retrieved by Watts. Laying it in on the other end of the floor. Davis over to Alston. Williams a little too strong, rebounded by Slaughter. I believe that got Swinney, it did. Young puts it in play. Watts loses it. Loose ball retrieved by Murph. Shoots from the elbow, no good. Watts rejected by Swinney, picked up by Slaughter. It won't drop. Thomas had it, lost it, got it back, turns around. It won't fall. And eventually a foul that's got us going the other way. Raven Williams, the recipient. Non-shooting foul. It'll be brought in from the baseline on the opposite end of the floor. Davis out of the game after a brief breather. Dinah Williams back in. Williams into the corner to White. White from the elbow and had to have something there. A walk, a jump ball. Just had a really unusual look to it. Jump ball on the possession arrow. Keeps it on this end of the floor. A game that had been trimmed to 9 has been shoved back out to 13. 7:10 to play. Murph's got the steal on the inbounds. Lobs to the other end of the floor, and Slaughter will get fouled. Slaughter shooting, a 59% free throw shooter, 6 points a ball game for Slaughter. Obviously, though, her forte is rebounding. One of the best in the league. Hey, don't forget, in addition to subscribing to the YouTube channel, be sure to follow us on all the social media outlets. As I mentioned, if it's free, we'll do it. TikTok, Threads, X, Twitter, whatever you call it these days. Facebook, Instagram. There's a Williams three. Thomas couldn't get the shot to fall. Battle for the rebound. Slaughter's got it. Kicks it over to Young. Young launching the three. Dipped it in and out. Swinney with a board and an opportunity for the Boll Weevils to make it a single-digit game again. Foul called on Murph. Jordan Alston going to the stripe, an 81% free throw shooter. Well, I mentioned in the first stanza, they may be 1 in 15, but this is not a 1 in 15 team. I mean, it is, but they don't play like one. Lost 6 straight. Meanwhile, the Coyotes winners of 3 in a row, but got a single-digit game with 6:18 to play against ACCC teams. Enterprise State is 1 in 6. Coastal North 3 and 2 against teams in the conference. That's Division 1 and 2 combined. Nearly taken away. Williams able to go back and get it. Coyote basketball compliments of the Slaughter defense. Murph into the corner to Young. Goodman with it out front. Screen set by Slaughter. Goodman goes the other way. Trying to slide it over to Slaughter. Taken away by White. Williams on the other end of the floor, able to drop it in for 2. Over to Goodman. Feeds to Murph. In and out with the Murph 2, and an opportunity for the Boll Weevils to make it 7, maybe 6. Williams, I think that just slipped out of her hands. I don't think anybody got a piece of it. Goodman over to Young, left open for the 3, short on the shot, and it's rebounded by Williams. Taken away on the other end of the floor. Murph able to save it to Goodman. Coyotes with the numbers, but instead Goodman pulls up, gives to Murph out front. Coyotes trying to get it back to a double-digit lead and do it while consuming time off the clock. Slaughter just didn't feel real comfortable with a 3-pointer, tries to bring it closer, and White make that Williams. Raven Williams will commit the foul. Timeout on the floor, 4:02 to play. Coyotes lead it by 9.
What's up, y'all? Here at Coastal, Alabama. I'm about to go and get this leg day started. Let's get it. we're here again after today. You're... Hey, let's go, baby. Let's ride. Yes, sir.
Got a group of fans enjoying the game and braving the weather to get here. 4:02 to play. One more game to go. Men Boll Weevils and men Coyotes right about 7:30. Lady Coyotes trying to make it 10-8 on the year, 2-1 in the conference. Goodman trying to get some separation, tipped out to Lennox. Murph got the side of the backboard, gets it back. Loose ball, Slaughter, blocked by Williams. Finally, Goodman with it. Davis back into the game, too. And there's a shot clock violation. An 18-point second half for the Coyotes. A 29-point second half for the Boll Weevils. First free throw for Swinney, good. Boll Weevils not far off of a season high. The most they have scored in a single game this year is 59. Got 53 currently. Lost out of bounds. Swinney couldn't hold on. Best Coyote performance of the year, 76 in a single game. And they have done that twice. Thomas thinking about it from the stripe, puts it on the floor, over to Murph. Back out front to Lennox. Into the corner, Slaughter says, heck, better shoot the three, drops it in. May not be her forte, but it's working for her here in the fourth. Let's see what the numbers for Slaughter are from three-point range. Well, according to stats, that is her first three of the year. So that's what's drawn the smile from Slaughter and Coach Armstrong and company. Got a Murph foul on the hand check. Davis will put it in play. Back over to Williams. And the clock is not a friend of Enterprise State. Goodman, though, reaching in, committing the foul. Davis to put it in play, 2:07 to go. And Slaughter committing the foul. And that is 5 on Slaughter, and she knew it first. Started heading towards the bench as soon as the call was made. And she will come out of the game. Key will come in. Davis averaging 5 a game, a 67% free throw shooter at the stripe for the Boll Weevils. Misses both, comes up short, Key with it. Key has it taken away by Davis. Off the glass for 2, and it's a 10-point game. Over goes to Lennox. Goodman with it. Coyotes would love to run some time off the clock. And you got a bump by Williams. Non-shooting foul, it'll be brought in from the baseline. Well, new halftime interviews coming in Coastal North basketball after tomorrow. We'll be talking as you got to walk prior to the shot by Thomas with both Mandy Armstrong and Chuck Taylor. Ladies and men's basketball coaches here. Got an email in to Daniel Head for a new conversation. And with Dean Myrick, by the way. So we'll have some new stuff for you at halftime. Yeah, I know. You're going, yeah, we've heard those interviews you played at halftime prior. Williams with a handoff to Davis. Inside a minute to go. Stolen away. Murph's got it. Back over to Murph. Off the glass. Key with the board. Key gets fouled. And Key will go to the line. And it looks like the Coyotes have weathered the second half storm. And in reality, it was a 5-minute span in the third quarter. The first 5 minutes of the third quarter, when the Boll Weevils trimmed it to a 9-point ball game. Since then, pretty much an evenly played game. Coyotes will go to 2-1 in the conference, win their 4th in a row. They're 8th at home. And improve to 10-8 overall. Enterprise State will go to 1-2 in conference play. They'll lose their 7th straight and go to 1-16. One more game to go, the men. Right about 7:30. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on all those social media outlets. And you can call this one done. Lady Coyotes start off the new year with a 67-57 win, knocking off Enterprise State and get ready for a Thursday showdown with Wallace-Selma. That's an opportunity on Thursday, depending on what happens tonight between Wallace-Selma and Snead, for Coastal North to take over the top spot in Division II women's basketball. 67-57 the final in this one. Thanks so much for watching. We're 30 minutes away from the start of the men from Coastal North at Enterprise State. See you then. For all the folks with the Coastals and JockJive, I'm Robert Williamson. So long, everybody.